those that are entrepreneurs or have businesses, should they do podcasts? What's your honest opinion on that?
I guess here's the thing, man. I love podcasting so much. It's kind of like if you ask somebody who surfs, like, hey, should I try surfing? They're like, yeah, dude, they jump up on it. Same with you and I. We're entrepreneurs. We think it's the greatest thing in the world, but it's not the greatest thing for everyone. So what I would recommend is if you own a business or if people are, like whatever they're doing, like if they think they want to do a podcast, go be a guest on a podcast. Go be a guest on 25, 30 podcasts. See if you like that experience of doing that, of recording audio. Because it takes like all the work out of it. Like me sitting here talking to you, you got the workload after this episode, not me. And so I'm enjoying myself. So I think if you do that and you enjoy yourself and you're like, man, okay, I really feel like I've brought some value and this is something I can do, then absolutely. I mean, why not start a podcast? Like it gives you better engagement. It makes, it creates a space for you to be an authority in your topic. Maybe it helps you serve your customers, or maybe if you have a big business and you're the CEO and you got 300 people working for you and you can't connect personally with all those people. And that's what now, especially nowadays, that's what people want. So create a podcast, talk to them every week, talk to your staff, talk to your team, shoot episodes just for certain departments. I mean, there's so many ways to connect, with audio.
So you talked about monetizing, right? And I think that's an important conversation to have. You mentioned also that there are people who do a podcast every day and they don't make money from it. And there's a lot of people who get into podcasting, maybe without having a clear understanding of monetization, whether that is a goal, an end goal, not a goal. What's your overall thought process on monetization on podcasting?
Man, I'm an entrepreneur, so I always like to make money. Like if I'm spending time doing something, I want to get compensated for it, just to be, pretty honest, like brutally honest. And so I put it into the structure of my podcast. Like when I started this fishing podcast, I knew, hey, I need to narrow down my audience. It needs to be super niche and it needs to be something that I can go present to a local tackle shop, boating company, or whatever. Hey, this is a hyper niche audience. We're super focused on this region and we want you to help us grow the community. And so I'm always about figuring out how to make money. Now there's a lot of ways to make money, right? So you can go to sponsor route, and it's a whole, sales process and relationship building. It's a little more hands-on. You could do the affiliate marketing route where if you're using your software, like I use Ecamm and I'm an affiliate with Ecamm. So if you go click on my Ecamm link and you buy the software, I'm going to get a little commission off of it. It doesn't cost you anymore. Amazon has a phenomenal, Amazon Associates program as well. You can create your own products. Like, are you, digital goods? Are you doing online courses? Are you doing books? Are you doing ebooks? Are you doing apparel? Are you doing hard goods stuff like cups and mugs? And like, for instance, for my other company, this is a logo branded tumbler that I'm holding, and it just has my logo all over it. So I can sell those if I have my podcast audience. So I think there's too many low-hanging fruit ways to monetize. So not to monetize, or at least try to in some form or fashion, just seems, like, why wouldn't you? Like if at least if you could sell a t-shirt a month and cover the cost of your hosting platform, like why wouldn't you do that?
When we connected offline, I had asked you a question about what we read about monetization, which is, 10,000 downloads and you'll get, $25 or something like that, something really small. And you debunked that real quickly. So maybe you can let our audience know your viewpoint on that.
Yeah, man, this is one of my favorite myths to debunk. I mean, and you can go the CPM route. So there's a cost per click, essentially, or a cost per 1,000. That's what it is, cost per 1,000. And so that basically says, hey, if I have 10,000 downloads, then I can charge $25 per 1,000. I think that's the average, 21, 25, something like that. So basically, if you have 10,000 downloads per episode, you can charge somebody $25 to be on there. So maybe if you have, 5 or 4 sponsors, you make $100 an episode. Well, what we did and what, and here's the thing, man, sponsorships within the podcasting world are so new, but I thought, okay, hold on, I'm putting someone's ad in my show. It's going to be there forever. And the behavior of a podcaster is to go back and listen to back catalog stuff. So it's going to be there forever. So you're really buying a forever ad. It's not a shelf life like a newspaper or a website banner or, like a Facebook ad or Instagram ad. Like those all have shelf lives, but my podcast doesn't have a shelf life. So my audience, as it grows, you're going to be exposed to more because the behavior of the podcast listener is to go back and listen to those back catalogs. And so I framed it up that way. I framed it up as, one, we're building a community, and here's our community, here's our goal, here's our mission. And now I have a course that I just launched with Travis Brown over at Poddex. You can check it out at podsumo.com. And it's all about 4 ways to monetize your podcast. I really break it down. I break down the media kit, the contract, my opening conversation, all these different things. And, that's one of my favorite things. Like when people are like, well, you don't have enough downloads. I'm like, dude, I was making $200 an episode from episode number 6. Every time I sit down, I make $200, and it's all from framing up the conversation of, hey, we're building a community. Here's our goals. It's a forever ad. And we just kind of built it up that way. And there's a whole strategy behind it I won't get into, but yeah, man, I could go on for a day talking about, and we've signed some big, we just signed academysports.com, and then somebody called, and here's what happens. You start getting 1 sponsor or 2 sponsors, and then people start calling you. And now we had another person this week call us, say, I didn't even negotiate anything. I didn't even say anything. I sent them our media kit, and they text me back, hey, Billy, this is great. We're going to do 16 episodes. I'll write you a check. It'll be there tomorrow. And I'm like, wow, this is phenomenal, man. We just made $1,500 and I didn't even answer. I didn't even call anybody or anything. So that's kind of the beauty of it. And for people getting into it, especially if you have a business, I have a friend of mine that has a surf podcast we're producing, and he has 2 companies. And so he puts those as ad spaces in those podcasts just to get his audience familiar with what that feels like, what that sounds like. And then the overall mission is to bring on people in the surf industry to sponsor his podcast. So yeah, a lot of opportunities there to make a little bit of money for sure.